Hello, my name is Alejandro Gallusi, and this is my CCR. For the first question, it says, how does your product use or challenge conventions, and how does it represent social groups or issues? When I started working on my magazine, I wanted to make sure it looked and felt like a real food magazine while also bringing something fresh to the table. One of the biggest conventions I followed was to use eye-catching and high-quality images. Food magazines rely heavily on visuals, so I made sure every photo was vibrant, well lit, and styled in a way the food would look irresistible. I also designed my pages with a clean and organized layout, balancing the text with images so nothing felt too cluttered or overwhelming. In addition to that, I focused on writing descriptions that were not just informative but also fun and engaging to the audience to make the food sound as exciting as it looks. At the same time, I didn't want my magazine to feel out of reach for everyday people. A lot of food magazines focus on gourmet meals, complex recipes, or even expensive ingredients that most high school students or even college students would not realistically make. That is where I decided to break away from tradition. Instead of featuring fancy dishes that required tons of effort and money, I highlighted foods that were affordable, easy to make, and popular among young people. Sandwiches, loaded fries, avocado toast are meals that people already love, but I wanted to showcase creative ways to elevate them without making them overly complicated. I also made sure my magazine reflected modern food culture. That is why I included features on energy drinks like Prime, which have become a huge trend among younger audiences. Most traditional food magazines would not think to highlight drinks like this, but they are a big part of what people are consuming today. By including trendy, budget-friendly, and relatable food, my magazine is not just copying what is already out there. It is making food content more accessible and relevant to a wider range of audience. Whether you are a student looking for quick snack ideas, someone following food trends on social media, or just a casual food enthusiast, my magazine has something for you. All right, for the second question, it says, how does my magazine engage with audiences and how would it be distributed as a real media text? Engaging with an audience is more than just having good content. It's also about how the content is presented. Since food is something people love to see, I made the visuals in my magazine a high priority. Every page has bright and bold images that make the food look delicious and worth trying. I also carefully picked out fonts, colors, and layouts that make the magazine easy to read and visually appealing. But good writing is just as important as good visuals. Instead of using overly complicated vocabulary, I wrote my articles in a way that is fun, almost like giving a recommendation to a friend. Whether someone is flipping through the magazine, looking for a quick meal idea, or just checking out food trends, I wanted them to feel engaged and entertained while reading the magazine. If this magazine were distributed as a real media text, I would use both digital and print formats to reach as many people as possible. Since most high school and college students get food inspiration from social media, I would share content on Instagram and TikTok, posting behind-the-scene photos, short recipe videos, and interactive food challenges would help create excitement and get people talking about the magazine. For the printed version, I would place copies in places where food lovers and students spend time, like cafes, bookstores, libraries, and school lounges maybe. This would be easy for people to pick up a copy while grabbing a coffee or studying. By having both an online and physical presence, my magazine would be able to connect with a broader audience, from social media users to those who prefer flipping through a printed magazine. Number 3, how did my production skills develop throughout this project? When I first started working on this project, I had no experience with food photography, magazine design, or content organization. As I worked through the process, I developed a much stronger understanding of how to create a polished magazine. One of the biggest areas of growth was food photography, At the beginning, my pictures were basic and did not have much thought behind them. I would take quick shots of food without considering lighting, angles, or styling. After researching food photography techniques, I learned how to adjust my camera settings using different light sources and style food in a way to make it look more appealing. I experimented with natural lighting by taking pictures near a window at different times of the day and compared those shots to ones taken with artificial lighting with a ring light. I also used Canva's editing tools to adjust the brightness and contrast, ensuring that my images stood out. Another major skill I improved on was magazine layout design. At first, my pages looked unbalanced, either overcrowded with text or just too empty. I studied other food magazines to understand how they arranged their content, what font styles they use, and how they structured their magazine overall. By using Canva's templates, I was able to arrange my pages in a way that felt professional while keeping the magazine visually engaging. I started using Canva's pre-made templates, but eventually customized them with my own fonts, color schemes, and layouts to fit my magazine's theme. My writing also improved throughout this project. In the beginning, my articles were very straightforward, almost like a list of instructions. Over time, I focused on making the writing more engaging by adding personality and storytelling. Instead of simply listing ingredients for a sandwich, I described the flavors and textures in a way that the reader was excited to try it. This made my articles feel more interesting to the audience. Overall, the project helped me build creative and technical skills that I did not have before. From improving my photography techniques to designing professional-looking layouts to writing more engaging content, I was able to take my magazine to the next level. Number 4. How did I integrate technologies, software, hardware, and online tools into this project? Technology played a huge role in every step of creating my magazine, from designing layouts to enhancing photography and even to organizing my process. I used a mix of software, hardware, and online tools to bring everything together. For designing the magazine, I used Canva as my primary software. At first, I experimented with different templates, but as I got more comfortable, I would edit them and make them match my theme. Canva's drag and drop features made it easy to move images and my text around, ensuring that everything was aligned properly. I also used Canva's photo editing tools to enhance brightness and contrast, making sure my food images look good. For example, I used the magic eraser tool to isolate food items and take out anything that was in the way. For photography, I relied on my high-quality phone camera to capture all of my food images. Since lighting is crucial in food photography, I experimented with different setups. I used natural daylight to highlight textures and colors in some shots, while the others I used a ring light to reduce shadows and create a clean, bright look. I also stored and organized my photos using a USB, which allowed me to compare different edits and choose the best versions for my magazine. EduBlogs was another essential tool throughout this project. I used it to document my entire process, from brainstorming ideas to testing different photography techniques to finalizing my magazine layout. Writing blog posts about my process helped me reflect on what I was working on and what needed more improvement. If I were to continue developing my magazine, EduBlogs could also serve as a platform to engage with the readers by sharing the behind-the-scenes content and updates. Research was also a key part of my project. I used the internet to look at other food magazines for inspiration, study food photography techniques, and explore current food trends on social media. For example, I analyzed popular Instagram food accounts to see what types of food photography and styling were getting the most engagement, then applied similar techniques to my own photos. By integrating a variety of software, hardware, and online tools, I was able to create a magazine that looks professional. Each tool helped me refine my work, from layout design in Canva to photography improvements with lighting techniques to documenting my process on EduBlogs. Without these technologies, my magazine would not have reached the same level of quality. And that concludes my CCR. Thank you for your time.